I'm fortunate today to be attending the funeral, paying my last respects to Peter Brown, who, like many Jamaicans, paid their own way, came to this country, mother country, and then treated so unfairly.
Sergeant Peter Brown passed away in December 2020, alone and unrecognised. Like many servicemen of the Windrush generation who served in British forces, his contribution was never acknowledged. And yet to many from West Indian diaspora, he was a hero. After public outcry, the RAF finally held a state funeral in his honour.
Yes, oh, you see, remember? Oh my God, yeah. How are you?
I'm not too bad. When we talk about World War II, we tend to forget the contribution made by the Caribbean and African, because many servicemen don't tell their stories. At least we're getting some aspects publicised now with Peter Brown's contribution.
Since the first Windrush arrivals in 1948, the servicemen have been ignored and discriminated against.
My dad came here at 20 years old. He gave 30 years to the RAF. He got an MBE for his services from our now King, Charles. And they worshipped this country, and they paid to come here, and they gave literally their lives.
Very few servicemen from the Windrush generation are still alive. And yet the stories of mistreatment continue today. The 2012 Hostile Environment Policy is intended to make life difficult for migrants living in the UK.
My father's generation were invited to come here as British citizens. And then subsequently the laws of immigration changed because there was a lot of backlash when they came. A lot of immigrants had no idea that there had been changes to their passports until you go back for a funeral or someone's birthday. And then what's happened and is continuing to happen is that people are going back to the Caribbean and can't get back into the country. Today marks the day that we can start to really look at this and see how can we change this.
Over 15,000 people from the Windrush generation, eligible for compensation, have been denied and betrayed by the actions of the Home Office. And the number of victims is rising by the week, with many offered zero compensation.
There's one lady who's from Jamaica. She was put in a detention centre in Yarlswood for 2 years. Wrongly. And she's still waiting compensation.
I don't call it a Windrush scandal. I call it a Home Office scandal because it's not the Windrush people that cause the scandal, it's the Home Office.
They want money from the Home Office because they are the people who've committed the crime and they are the people that need to pay for that crime. So they're very specific about that, and obviously they want an apology, and obviously they want some sort of healing.
It appears to the community that the country is quite comfortable with the situation as it stands. And why do I say that? Because there has been no resolution.
We need to tell the truthful story, and I think when we start to do that, then we can start to look at the end game, which is an end to this outrageous hostile environment policy. What we want to do is to, frankly, re-educate, because 90% of the population don't know the contribution that people from the West Indies made to this country. And fantastic to have the contribution and the celebration of Flight Sergeant Brown today, but there are thousands more stories like that. And we need to hear those stories, because if you don't know the history, you don't see the injustice. We need to rewrite that, we need to change that, and we need to reclaim our history. So that's our mission, and hopefully you'll all be watching.